Alright, welcome to round number 1 of this new league. Double Zenith. Sure. Gonna fetch for basic here, obviously trying to play around Wasteland. Riftstone was stable in lands because he allowed you to bad mates of it for classic cast and for mana. Yeah, Riftstone Portal is a sweet card. Probably not worth it in this deck because we don't really have that many lands that can't tap for mana. Noble Hierarch off of a Bayou? What the hell is this? So they can't daze me because they have a Bayou, so maybe they do have Force though. If it were Nick Fit, they wouldn't have played Noble Hierarch, they would have played Veteran Explorer. So it has to be some sort of like bug deck of sorts, I assume. Vintage Gag, last time I played versus it, I played Gaia's Cradle, that's hilarious. Just for the... just for... Okay, so by playing the Heath here, we can make Reclaimer a 3-4. I don't know if that's gonna matter, but... Yeah, that's because of Tabernacle, I imagine? Yeah, it's really funny how like Vintage is the most expensive format just already, but somehow because of, you know, Dredge and all that stuff, just every random deck plays like 2 Tabernacles in the sideboard, which is just so ridiculous. Also, I missed on a point of damage I should have tagged with it with Dryad. I was just talking to chat and I got distracted. It could be Maverick, yeah. It could definitely be Maverick. So now we know that it is Maverick. And they missed the land drop. Oof. I mean, we're not drawing well. So there's that. Like, we're drawing like shit, but... I don't think I can really... Like, it would be nice to... to wasteland the value there, but I just don't think I can afford to. Like, I have to... I just don't have business, right? So if I go get wasteland instead of flagstones, I am setting myself behind as well. Like, I'm setting them behind, but I'm setting myself even further behind, and because I have no business at all going on, I think that because my opponent has a library, I'm gonna end up being more hurt than they are. Well, that guy's gonna die. It's a mighty fine target for... Oh no. Oh no, opponent. Oh no, opponent. And they play the land, so I'm not getting got here. This is just my opponent making a huge mistake. I got this, I got this. Where is it? Oh, there we go.
I've made a huge mistake.
What's up, Gibo? Yeah, your Raminap Excavator is getting plat. We're not drawing well here, I'll tell you. We're not drawing well. We're gonna get a non-zero amount of zombies here, which is nice. And if my opponent wants to blow up my Field of the Dead, that is definitely acceptable because it means that they only have access to a single mana. Gonna get some Sumbos here. Put some pressure. My opponent should have been drawing 3 with the library, by the way. Thank you, Croxel Deepik. Remember when 2/2s cost 0 mana? Yeah, like just your classic free bears. Reclaimer's got this, no need to draw another spell. Like you're joking, but like that's just true. It is what's going on right now, so like how can I lose here? Plague Engineer? Plague Engineer is literally the only way that I can potentially lose this game. Gonna get Vesua. I think my opponent may be new to Legacy. Actually, having the swords was so relevant. Yeah, I mean, being able to kill the Raminab was a big deal for sure. Maybe I shouldn't have killed the Noble Hierarch. Collect Roof can go. Wasteland Inn. We want all of the lands. I think my opponent's gonna cut their... I think I want to cut Caracas because I think my opponent's gonna cut their Thalias. At least they should. And even if they don't, I really don't care about Thalia, so... If they want to keep their Thalias, that would be acceptable. Forced to deal with opponent libraries and equipment. Titania is obviously amazing. I guess Titania, protecting my own Titania is a reason to hold on to the Caracas. But I think it is my worst land. Killing Hierarch probably prevented them from casting a lot of things. Yeah, but only because they were not drawing cards off of the library, right? If they had played it properly and just the first turn they had library going, they had just drawn 3, they would have looked at so many more cards. But I think they just don't really know how to properly use Seal Library, which is, I mean, it's not the most obvious card ever, right? If you resolve library, you're like, oh, I didn't get there. Like it's logical, to an extent, it's logical to think, I don't want to draw these cards, so you put them back on top, when in reality it's like, I don't want to draw these cards, so I have to draw them, so I dig 2 cards deeper next turn. So it's a little bit counterintuitive. It is a little bit counterintuitive. We're just actually just gonna cut the force. We got 2 apparitions, we got Knight of Autumn. We're kind of fine against enchantments and stuff. Sand is not very good. Ship it. The Sand's pretty solid. I think I'm gonna ship the Dryad. My best top deck is, of course, Elvish Reclaimer. I would also take Green Sun Zenith. Being on the draw in a matchup like this is brutal, though. Alright. There's the Green Sun Zenith I was talking about. There was an argument for fetching Savannah here, so if my opponent plays a Knight of the Reliquary, we can just Apparition it. I think we're going to draw a Plow, so it's going to be just fine. Have I seen Spike's new BTL list? Think I'm going to try it. Powering out Tybalt was my favorite thing to do in the Escape Shift variant. Yeah, I think it's very good. I think Spike's decks are more often than not very good. Barring a couple of notable exceptions. Oh, Plague Engineer? Yeah. I think Ooze is fine. Don't care too much about Scavenging Ooze just yet. Even the worst ones are still coherent. He's a tremendous deck builder. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, the only thing I wish about Spike is that he would sometimes try other formats. Like, imagine Spike Bruin in Legacy, for example. He was talking about trying Legacy. Okay, that's good then. So I imagine this is gonna be Knight of Autumn. It is Knight of Autumn. I mean, the Scavenging Ooze is kind of annoying here. The Scavenging Ooze is preventing the Sevin's Reclamation from getting back the library, which is kind of annoying. I'm probably going to go Tracker plus Land this turn. And I think that if my opponent offers the trade, I'm going to take it. Why do so many people play Thoughts Effects Unlimited? They are not good like 90% of the time. I mean, they are good if you're playing Cube. They're not necessarily good in normal limited formats. A lot of people in Strixhaven Limited have cast Agonize and Remorse, and I don't think I've ever lost to that card. I have lost to Humiliate, though. I think that the extra +1/+1 counter is relevant very often. You're gonna get Collector Oof? Why is Oof in their deck? It's kinda yikes. So my best draw here is probably a land. Any untapped land would be great because it would allow me to CNET for 1. Ramnap. Okay, I think I'll take that. Because this allows me to Raminap, make my land drop. Go fetch, I guess a basic plains. And then I can CNET for Reclaimer. Yeah, Oof runs. I'm also running a mainboard Oof as well, but like this is game 2, so it's in my sideboard where it should be. Like my opponent, they used the Zenith to go fetch Collector Oof, and like they could have fetched their own Raminap to go with their knight, or they could have fetched. I don't know, like they had so many better things to do than fetching a Collector Roof there. I know I'm not loving the Collector Roof fetch there. I don't think it's very good. Maybe they really hate Tracker. I mean, I think that they may think that I could be playing Stoneforge Mystic. That's the only explanation that makes sense to me. Maybe they just think that I'm running Stoneforge, so they want to lock me out of equipment, but does this mean that they're not running their own equipment? Because I guess that could be the case. Who's hungry? Who's hungry? Yeah. Also, Thalia being in the deck is just really bad for them. I think I'm kind of interested in using Apparition to kill my opponent's Goose. I think I'm gonna, because I have Raminap going, right? So I think I want to get rid of this Scavenging Ooze. Sure. They shouldn't need the land there, though. Then all of their mana goes to waste. And now I can activate Reclaimer on my turn. Still taking 3 here. This is fine. ¿Qué haces, Iván? Sí, bárbaro, papu. Bárbaro, bárbaro. So they don't have any green mana, so this is just fine. Because what we can do here, which is nice, is because like my opponent doesn't know about the Savings Reclamation, so maybe next turn they will attack with the Knight of Autumn again, and then we can chomp, like we can just trade, and then we can they get a 2/2, whatever. But then we get to reclaim back the Apparition. Also next turn, the zombie apocalypse begins. So now we're gonna reclamation the apparition, get rid of the knight. And if they're chump attacking with the Thalia, I think I would have also chumped attack with the Scavenging Ooze. Like, it's not like the Ooze is doing anything here. Even though I have all of these clues, I just don't have the time to crack him, so... First things first... After we did that, we want to do this. Get a Savannah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven. And I guess that we can blow up the cradle now. We'll leave my opponent to 4 mana. Seems fine. Slowly but surely tightening that grip. Slowly but surely tightening that grip. We have access to a jukebox, so we have to remember that. Sombos. It's a funny draw. That's a funny draw. One, two, three, four, 5. I think we have this one locked up. We're gonna Vesula copy my field. Then I'm gonna flashback reclamation on the wasteland and the tracker. Take care of the white source. Play land for turn. Take care of the black source. Seems pretty tough for my opponent to win now. I wasted a clue token? Sure. Honestly, I thought that the copy was gonna go on the stack, but I guess that the copy only goes on the stack afterwards. So yeah, I mean, you're right. I thought that the copy was gonna go in the stack when I cast it, so then I wanted the copy, you know, for the tracker to come back first. But yeah, it's kind of weird. And all of this because my opponent could not answer my Elvish Reclaimer. Unless they have a way to make their Knight of the Reliquary unblockable. I'll trade you 5 zombies that I got for free for your Knight of the Reliquary. That's your only shot at remotely winning this game. We can do it for the BMs now. Into it. I'm into it. Human. Those things are dead. This is another wasteland. Yep. Sweet. I think that the Maverick matchup is pretty solid for us overall anyway. Like, my opponent definitely looked like they were pretty new to the format. They made a couple of suboptimal cyber decisions and suboptimal play decisions as well. So, but even still, I think that we are just naturally quite favored against them. Anyway, see you for the next one. Welcome to round number 2. Turn 1 Reclaimer. I think I'm getting a duel though, because I may want to apparition something on 2. We do get kind of blown out by Wasteland, but it is what it is. Have I tried Reclaimer Vintage? No. No, I have not. It's weird. Like, there's just something about Vintage that doesn't really call me, you know? This is nice because it means that my opponent can't attack through, and even if they have an answer to the Reclaimer, which first of all is going to be tough because it needs to be something that deals 4 damage. But not only that, even if they do, then we can just go fetch for Dryad Aberramcus to block this. So that's rough. It's pretty rough. So now things could spiral out of control a little bit here. Hopefully they don't. I was really looking forward for an untap land so I could get rid of this guy, but a 3/4 is probably not easy for Goblins to get rid of though, so I'm not like super duper worried about it. Someone who doesn't really know Legacy at all, do you have any chance beating Burn? You try to erase them, and it's a tight matchup. It's a tight matchup because they have stuff like Fire Blast and Price of Progress specifically. So one of the important techs for the matchup, for example, is that you always want to have a Wasteland up so you can Wasteland yourself. As weird as that sounds. Sure, that doesn't do anything at all. Oh, we may be playing against the Goblins version. No. Like, they have 2 1-drops right here, so, like, it's not. Because there's a version of Goblins that I know that Caleb D was playing at some point, and that version plays... a bunch of... Soul Lands. I've beaten it, but it's rough. Like, it's not a great matchup, and we don't have that many life gain cards, so it's mostly a race. You got a Goblin Crater Maker. I think I want Apparition the Prospector here. How about we draw a Plague Engineer? How about we top deck right now a Plague Engineer right here? Check it out. Never lucky. Prospector is my opponent's only chance to Muxus, so... Cast a Painter on green, then Scene it for Engineer. So that's a good line. It's a pretty good line. So next turn we get to... just get to Dryad. Bashalik Mons. I have to kill the Bashalik Mons though, so... I'm gonna sack the Vesuva, so that then I can scene it for Engineer. I can, for Raminap, sorry. Can get Caracas. I'm feeling pretty confident about my spot. Do these versions run Wasteland? If they have Soul Lands, I think they don't run Wasteland. Even if they do, again, I'm planning to scene it for Raminap anyways, so. That's why I sacrificed the Vesuva right there. Okay, Goblins. How do we feel about this one? Thoughtseizes, maybe? Nah. Opponent kept the hand count and turned to like he hit. Yeah, which on the draw is it's a little bit it's a little bit of wishful thinking, I guess. Ask me if I'm keeping this hand, chat. Do you want to ask me whether I'm going to be keeping this hand or not? Am I keeping this hand? That's a great question, Arkan. I think I am. I'm happy you asked that question. This is both a horrible hand and a great one. Well, now we know. Now we know. Bravo. Bravo, bravo. I very much wonder whether they're playing like Blood Moon or something. I doubt it, but could be. Legion or boss? The boss. Sweet. I guess I am fetching a basic forest here. Warboss considerably worse when there's an engineer out. Expert analysis. Expert analysis, DU guy. Good job. I think I'm just getting Wasteland here. Would like to name Goblin. How I miss you once upon a time. Yeah, this card's alright. That card is aight. It's kind of an answer to engineer, actually. I really want to wasteland that Ancient Tomb, because I am scared to death of the Moxes. If I do, I can Zenith for... I can Zenith for a 3-4 Reclaimer, so my opponent doesn't have good attacks. And next turn we get to play Knuckle. It's really good. That is very, very good. Almost 4 for 4. Found Moxes, they found Crater Maker. Crater Maker is going to get rid of the Engineer. But we're going to get to Knuckle. Honest question, how busted would Crop Rot be modern? It seems really, really good, but is it busted without the Haymaker lands that Legacy has? Have you thought about Tron lands? Because if you haven't thought about Tron lands, I would recommend thinking about thinking about Tron lands. Okay. Well, this one has to attack. That one has to get in there. Whether the rest wants to get in there, that's a different story. But your go. Good old Nakaloroni. Tabernacle. Good old Tabernacle. Also, look at those beautiful triggered abilities. I have to yield every single one of them because the creature is the one that gets the ability instead of the Knuckle giving the Knuckle having the ability. Top tier design. Top tier design. Knack Daddy, yep. Good old Knack Daddy. Can you yield until draw step? Well, I want to activate my Elvish Reclaimer, right? It's a feature you just get to feel like you're playing Amulet with all the triggers. That is true. That is true. Reclaimer's so good, man. Unfortunately, I don't think I can go get... I don't think I can go get... what's his name yet? Wasteland. It's not a good draw, chat. I'm not gonna sacrifice Knuckle. I still have Flagstones going on. I guess I want to set this up on their main phase anyway, but like we are just gonna go with Valak and probably kill the Chieftain. Whoops. Just totally kicked my Blood Moon. Well, I was not expecting that. Basic Plains. I probably get Valagat anyway. It sucks because they have what's his name in hand. Moxes. Kind of far we don't get to stack the Lex and trigger better. It's fine. Doesn't really upset me that much. Well, here's 5 damage. I think we have to raise here. My opponent could have second Chieftain or anything that gives haste, plus the Lucky and the Moxes that we know, but they can also just draw land and find Moxes, so I really don't have infinite time here. Okay, so my opponent's gonna get too lucky here. Oh, they're just gonna Moxes, I guess. Okay, so this is what they got, and this is the other thing. So we really have to find something here. If we find an answer to Blood Moon, we're just gonna win. That's an answer to Blood Moon. Whew. Good thing I'm not an idiot and I didn't sideboard out my Knight of Bottom. Oh, what a face the place. Triggers and triggers. Rewarded for not playing the Vesuva last turn, by the way. It's pretty cool. 2-0. Welcome to round number 3. Currently at 2-0. We got a couple of options here. I'm obviously keeping this hand, and I'm thinking about my sequencing, because we can go turn 1 Zenith for Dryad Arbor, and that allows us to wasteland on turn 2 and not even fall behind. Heyo. I think we're doing that. Hey Turbo, Wednesday's going well. Playing some Reclaimer. Things can never be going too badly if you're playing Reclaimer. Sure. Probably gonna have to play Vesuva, copying Reclaimer here. How I always run Excavator in Reclaimer. In Legacy, yes. It's unfortunate that we have to copy the suboptimal forest art, but we will survive, I guess. Yeah, I mean, technically we could be playing the mirror. I think there's a green-white... oh my god, are we playing the mirror? No, we're not. They have decay. Huh. Well... Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Sup. Oh, we don't have to waste here, which is nice. Opponent's probably going to sack Savannah. No, I'm not gonna waste. My opponent has an active Reclaimer. But this opens up my mana so I can once a pawn. And then next turn I get to Apparition and then I get to waste. So we are kind of doing it here. Ah, they don't have flagstones. They don't have flagstones. My deck is better than theirs. Wow, those are terrible cards. No, I want the Triumph in the deck, because otherwise my Flagstone's engine is not as powerful. I guess I want to have the fetch land in play. Keep getting Wasteland mixed up with Streamline. Oh yeah, they're definitely different cards. Very, very much different cards. Wait, they are playing Flagstones? What the hell, man? Krida, thank you for that follow. So they are playing Flagstones, but they didn't want to use it in the previous turn. And they only have 2 basics, so they're not playing the same list that I am. They're playing a different list. Whatever it is they're doing, Wasteland's gonna be great. Sevin's gonna be great. Probably we want Force of Vigor. We don't want this one. Doubt that we want Fairy Macabres. Don't want Oof. I don't want Scoozy. I think I want Bojuka Bog. I'm still assuming my opponent's playing some form of Depths. I'm not gonna assume that my opponent's playing the same deck that we are. This is very much not a tier deck. Really bad that they're depths due to main deck decay. I mean, I don't think I agree with that. I'm thinking that the lack of basics is what makes me think of my opponent being on depths. Because if they could have, like, the Raminab was on board, right? The Raminab Dryad combo was kind of on board. Like, it was no secret, and they could have fetched it for more basics, and they didn't. So they obviously just don't have more basics. And the fact that they have limited basics is what makes me think that they are probably going to be playing cards like, you know, Dark Depths and whatnot. So the decay, if anything, the decay veers me more towards them playing Maverick than them playing Depths. Because the green-white Depths list that I have seen are just straight up green-white. Like the one that Lynn Chalice has been playing. I'm fairly certain that those are just straight up green-white. Maverick doesn't play Flaxes. No, but I know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that my opponent is splashing for a third color is what makes me think that potentially they could be playing like some sort of Maverick shell. but I have no way of knowing. So I'm sideboarding, kind of guessing a little bit. I'm kind of guessing a little bit. Shuin's most recent list did have main deck decay. Oh, it did? Did he change his list? Let me look it up. Oh yeah, he is running main deck decays. Okay. So this is what I assume that my opponent's playing right now. So I guess Engineer's not that great. And neither is Force. I may change my side rolling later. I'm gonna keep this hand though. Opponent on a mold to 6 with Mox Diamonds. With 2 cards left in hand, I don't think we can get comboed out here, which is nice. Oh, they have the plow. Gross. Missing land drop is big though. Fetch for a basic forest. Interesting. Reclaimer just feeling frisky. Alright. Sounds good. So we're only killing Safekeeper. Or Dried Arbor. So I'm just gonna name Human with this Engineer. And I guess if my opponent attacks, I'm gonna take the trade. Wait. Shut up, Twitch. You're drunk. Okay. Another Source of Plowshares. Wow. It's kind of crazy, honestly, that they'd rather like use the plow there as opposed to using it on the ramming up. Ramming up seems significantly more valuable. Unless they have another plow. They could just have another plow. They do, yeah. Okay. That does answer the question, I guess. Do they have plow number 4? I guess they don't. Seen it for 1. I'm doing that right now so I can guarantee that I have access to a 5-3. If my opponent doesn't answer Titania, next turn we can get another 5-3 to start beating down. Jeez. All of the removal. All of the removal, none of the lands. They're just trading? Well, that's amazing for me. Once upon. Triad. Yeah, I guess it's the best one of the bunch here. Copy Wasteland, play Dread Arbor, say go. Zenith for 1. Bog. I'm gonna play one of these. This is a Mexican standoff. Opponent can't attack, we can't attack. Removal spell number 5. Removal spell number 5. Something good, please. Damn it. Everything was exiled. I can't use this. God damn it. Ugh. That's very real threat. Something good. Nope. It's funny how I drew nothing by land, but lands, and my opponent drew no lands. Everything but lands. No, don't play another threat. Damn it, that's lethal. Okay, so we have to draw like a tracker or something. Womp womp. Field of the Dead would have been great. Brutal. So I'm not feeling the forces, and I'm kind of feeling the Plague Engineers. Screw always beats Flood. That's just not true. Yeah, Sevin's is there. I like Sevin's Reclamation. If we drew one Field of the Dead, the game maybe would have looked a little bit different. Yeah, or if my opponent hadn't drawn all the removal spells. Just having the 2/4 body there to block the Reclaimer would have bought me so much more time. But they drew 4 Swords to Plowshares and the Path to Exile. And even if one of those removal spells had been... if one of those removal spells had been freaking Abrupt Decay, it would have also been so much better to me because I would have been able to use the Sivian's Reclamation, but like all of the removal spells were just exile effects. Please don't kill my Reclaimer. That's fine. Sposhy, think of the foe. Gonna be chilling here. Thespian Stage. Mildly scary. We do have access to Caracas though, so I think I'm just gonna Flagstones here. Gonna Once Upon a Time, and then I'm gonna activate Reclaimer, I think. Because if I find Caracas or Wasteland, I'm just gonna get the other one with Reclaimer, so I can't just lose. They draw 3, as they should. What do you got, a point over there? What do you got? What do you got over there? So Dark Depths. So that's Once Upon a Time first. Ugh. Ugh. I'm gonna get Caracas here. And now we can go with Wasteland. Put my opponent in a little bit of a pickle. And then next turn we can start to get the zombie apocalypse started. Taking a bunch of damage. So what I would die to here is Mox Diamond into Crop Rot into Wasteland. That would get me. But if they tap out for something, I'm gonna be in okay shape. But their deck is not playing like Elvish Spirit Guides or any of that nonsense. Okay. We may be able to go wide around them. That's very good for us. That is super, super good for us. So now we sack the forest, go get Wasteland. Sure, let's once upon a time first, because if we find the Dryad, we just win. Sweet. 1, 2, 3, Dryad. Don't have colored mana, so 1, 2, sack this, Valakut, ya face. Copy this, target your face, target your face. Got him! Sweet. Legacy looks way different than I remember. I used to see Brainstorm every turn. Yeah, I mean, you still see Brainstorms every turn, but my opponent and I are people of class. And we like to play other 1-drops that are better than Delver. See you for the next round. Alright, welcome to round number 4. Turn to library. Seems strong. Tropical Island into Ponder. Playing Triumph, we can engineer on 3. I imagine this is gonna get counterspelled. Forced or something. It is getting forced. Pitching Brainstorm. You see? Library is better than Brainstorm because it's a 2-for-1 against Brainstorm. It's just better. Narset, part of Ills. They must have found that off of the Brainstorm, which is pretty funny. Maverick command. It's new. I'm gonna play the worst of the threats, but like my opponent has to, you know, kind of answer it because it pressures the Narset. So Prismari command is interesting, particularly with my opponent fetching double drop there. STP. Opponent has 3 lands in play. We know 2 cards in their hand and that are not castable. Okay, never mind. Everything's fine for them now. Can we find a Wasteland? I guess I don't really want a wasteland. What do we want here? I guess wasteland would not hurt. Unless they got some combo going on. This card seems so bad. I mean, like, it's fine. It's just not legacy power level. Like, this is just... okay. That makes sense. They got combos going on there. Combos! Look at that card advantage, though. I didn't know that this was target player. Okay, maybe that makes a little bit more sense there. It still seems greedy as fuck to me, but it is slightly more defensible. Gonna plow right now. Yeah, the spell version of Dak Faden, yeah. Pretty funny. So I guess we're naming Snake here. Force, Speech, and Force. Well, we're both empty, but my opponent has a Narset, and me, on the other hand, I have... What did they find? They found Source to Pleasures. Gross. So Ravenup's gone. I think I'm just gonna Zenith for 1. I could Zenith for Rasta, or I could Zenith for Tracker. Scavenginus is also interesting. The problem with Titania is I don't have any fetch lands, so I get nothing. I think I'm just gonna Zenith for Reclaimer. It's just the best card that I can find. Because it just wins if my opponent doesn't answer it this coming turn. Because we just get Field of the Dead going. No, I have no fetch lands. No, if I had a fetch lands, I would have gone for Titania, for sure. Mystic Sanctuary. That's right, that card is legal here. Damn it. I mean, that counts. That's a 2-2. Would have rather had found a fetch there, but... Gross, man. I just know that they're top decking Uro now, right now. 100% top decking Uro. Fairy, Narset, Narset. I'm assuming they have nothing because I don't think I can really play around stuff. Yeah, they can take the free block, but they lose both walkers if they do. Unless they drew something good. Of course, they drew another plow. Gross, man. Gross! Ah! Can you please whiff once? One turn. Just draw something that's not perfect. Just one turn. Opponent is going all out on the new versions of the cards. They found Uro. Please don't have Uro. Please don't have Uro. Dak. They should Dak themselves. Yeah. This is super rough, man. Come on, give me a good draw. Give me a good draw step. Zenith. Green Sun Zenith. Elvish Reclaimer. I guess I would even take Caracas right now. That's big. That's big. That's big, 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 big. What are the chances they have a sweeper? Probably high. We're gonna go for Titania. Yeah, Titania. Achilles, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everybody from Achilles stream. I ended up changing my mind. I was thinking about playing Maverick yesterday, but today I just woke up in a Reclaimer kind of way, you know. So I'm trying out some Green Red Reclaimer here in Legacy. Stress Daddy, thank you for the follow. Playing a close match against my opponent who's playing like a 4-color deck, multiple Narset, Prismari Command nonsense deck. Seems pretty cool. How was your stream? I mean, this is technically lethal. There's no way my opponent does not have Snake, though. Raminab is gone. Got plowed earlier. Is this primarily a field deck? It's a Reclaimer deck, but it is a mid-range version, so it's not like the green-white depths decks that we see around, which are more combo-oriented. This one is very, very much a lot more mid-range oriented. So you're trying to accrue value with your one-offs. You're trying to have Bojuka Bog, and then your end game is Balakut Dryad. How do they have this amount of lands in play? I guess I'm gonna play around the sweeper. It's bad if they find Uro, but they found Uro. You think Green White Depths is a mid-range deck? Maybe. Is this more mid-range than it? Man, this deck is as mid-range as it gets. It doesn't really get more mid-rangey than this deck. Caracas is lethal if they escape. It is. Wasteland. Gonna scene it for tracker. Yep. Yeah, force. Force between brainstorm. So I can blow up the Savannah, we get a 5-3. I can block, swing for 8 down to... I have to assume my opponent doesn't have sweepers at this point, right? Because I cannot really be the sweeper. So I think I'm just supposed to pass and I'm supposed to play as if my opponent doesn't have a sweeper. Yeah, we have lines here. We have lines. We can waste our own flagstones too. And if they attack, I'm just not gonna block. And we can present 20 on the crackback. Because we're gonna get 2 5-3s and a 2-2 here. So that we are gonna have 15. Yeah, way more than lethal. They should probably be putting Abundant Harvest in their fetch lands, I think. I don't know. Hull Breacher. Oh, they have the... Oh, wow. Those are their 2 remaining cards. Wait, what happened? I was not F6. Oh, it ends the turn. I'm an idiot. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It ends the turn, man. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that part. Damn it. Okay, so at this point, we're just dead. I think we're dead now. I mean, not really. My opponent doesn't have fodder for Udo. We may still be in this game, even after that mistake. We may still be in it. They are taking 10 here after all. Buckets, thank you for the follow. Wow, I can't believe that the last two cards were Hull Breacher plus plus Day of Judgment. What's in their exile? There's SDP, triple brainstorm. Ice Fang's fine. Still no Death Touch for the Ice Fang. That's funny. Still no Death Touch. Yeah, this is game 1. We're 5 minutes ahead on clock, so that's nice. Charlie stage 1, thank you for the follow. They could just deck. I think that Udo is gonna kill me before they deck. But maybe. Udo doesn't have trample. That's true. But every point of power that I can put into play is good for me. And they could also have this. So they did have a Wrath after all. They did have a Wrath after all. Quandrix Apprentice. Wow. Going deep, are we? Maybe that is wrong. Just to get a Sambo. So I have to assume that they have at least like 2 or 3 plows in hand. We do have basic forests to go get still. We have 1 basic forest and 1 snow covered. Abundant harvest. Man, it's so brutal that they did. Okay, so that's another plow. So brutal that they did have the sweeper in the deck. At this point, I think we may just time them out, honestly. We may be at a point where we could just time them out. I'm just drawing blank after blank. This is rough. I mean, I guess that it's not blank. It's just 3 2/2s, but like a fetch would be so much better than this, right? Command is gone. White Ninja, think will follow. Now I am out of fetchables, yeah. This was my last fetchable. I wonder if my opponent has another Mystic Sanctuary. We probably can't play around another Mystic Sanctuary, though. Heyo. Pivot. Now we're playing defense. Gotta pivot. Pivot. No, they've been playing a slower deck than ours, and they've been just taking. They haven't been playing slowly though. They've been just taking a ridiculous amount of game actions. It's probably not getting better than this. I guess I'd rather them use the treasures if they have a force. Paying life? Why don't they just hardcast the force? Like, what do they need all these treasures for? They also pitch the force to it. So we probably are not gonna be able to win this race. So I guess I'm just throwing the chump in there. I mean, this is not a May. This is not a May, so every time they attack, they do have to... They do have to draw a card. That is also not a May. So I'm assuming they need to have another way to shuffle. They probably have another draw 7. Sure. And if we find Caracas, I think we just win, because I don't think my opponent's gonna be able to. Like, if we bounce the Ur, they just can't race me before they deck. Box right here. We do have Vesuva. This is game number 1. We successfully decked them. Right on time, Thalia. Right on time. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold for 19 months. This is glorious. This is absolutely glorious. Do I even want Spirit of Labyrinth? Clearly, decking my opponent is the play here. That is so funny, man. That is so funny. Reclaimer Mill. That was kind of awesome. You probably can't deck them again. I think my opponent's gonna time out. I don't think they're gonna be able to win two games in like under 8 minutes. Their deck is way too slow to close the game so quickly. It is kind of what happens. It is kind of what happens when you play a deck that just dirtles so much. Maybe I should add Nephalia Drownyard to the deck. Is that the one that mills the opponent, or is that the one that comes back? No, yeah, that's the one that mills, but I don't have blue mana in the deck. Sorry. Just tape down F6 and go make a sandwich. No, I think that if we just F6, I think that they're gonna win. They're gonna be able to win in time. This hand sounds very good. They move to 5. Brutal. Just gonna play Reclaimer. They could have either Hushbringer or Narset on turn 3, but I think it's worth it. Particularly having a second copy in hand already. Okay. And that is, obviously, that's best case scenario. We get a free attack here because the Ice Fang doesn't have Death Touch, so get our point of damage in there. Ooh, the Blind Terminus? I guess they set it up with Ponder, so it wasn't the Blind Terminus. Another blank is rough, honestly. Like it really is rough. Oh yeah, perfect mana for Narset. Put that on top. Draw with this. So if I draw with this, you got Clothes. I get to Dryad plus land. Seems pretty strong. And this gets rid of the potential Mystic Sanctuary problem, although my opponent's miles, days, weekends away from being able to Mystic Sanctuary. Its leverage is so good that you even want to keep it against Narset and Hole Reacher. Yes. 0 cards for opponent. And if they don't find an answer to Reclaimer, this game is just over. Gonna name Snake. I have to ask so much because Legacy is really not my format. Are you annoyed by that? No, not really. Like, you're asking real questions. If you were asking me, like, you know, annoying questions, maybe I would be annoyed, but like, you're just asking real questions, and real questions are welcome. Put on top, put on top. Play this as my land for turn. And let the race begin. Why not kill? Technically is why don't kill. Right? Udo. Got it. Sacking Savannah here because we have another one in hand. If we wasteland them off the second blue, that seems solid. Did I just shuffle you away? Sack this. Vesuva, copy Field of the Dead, Sombos, kill that. Yorgo. Why is the opponent still playing? I don't know. They're eating their own Uro just so they can trigger Clothes. I think I'm winning that race, opponent. If that really is the battle that you want to play, I think I'm winning that race. Submerge. I might as well activate. I want to sack the basic forest. Flagstones. Submerge resolves. Put that on top and that on top. Draw this guy, serve. I don't know why my opponent's still acting like they are playing in this game. There we go. Finally gave up. Awesome, 4-0. Can we get a trophy? Only one way to find out. Alright, playing for the 5-0. Ship in this hand. Keep in this hand. I think I'd rather have 2 Dryads than an Arasta, unless we're playing against specifically the Elver. I think I'd rather have 2 Dryads. Actually, yeah, let's do this. What happened to that beautiful hair? Oh, that was you? Were you playing like the sweet Uro deck? I'm sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know you streamed. Yeah. You have less numbers in your moto handle. That's awesome though. Ooh, we can protect Caracas. We can protect Arasta with Caracas. That's awesome. There were like 50k channel points on the line for my 5-0 against me. Yeah. That was wild. Like, that game 1 was awesome. I can't believe we ended up decking you. That's that's so funny. I guess there is such thing as drawing too many cards. I guess there is such thing as drawing too many cards. The 2-drop sounded hilarious. Like, was that actually very good? And it's really funny how I was saying like Prismara Command looks very bad here, and then you played Narset, and then Prismara Command at me, and I'm like, oh, maybe my opponent is onto something here. It looked a lot better. It looked a lot better when you targeted me with the draw 2. If I won the PT, why would your card just be 5th to 8th copies of Reclaimer? Because why would anybody ever want a different card? Like, the best card ever has already been printed. And then they gave us an arguably even better card. It was sick, exiled their own cards too early, and I didn't have enough cast left in game 1. Quandric has been sick. That's really funny to me. But it really goes to show the difference between Legacy and some other formats like Modern or Standard, right? Where an effect like that is actually sick. It's actually sick in Legacy. But in a different format, maybe it would be kind of medium. I think I want to fetch double basics here. And I am gonna play right into Daze because my goal is to protect the Arasta from Daze. And if my opponent just doesn't Daze, then we're golden, obviously. There you go. Got me. But yeah, but the presence of Lightning Bolt means that I know that I can Zenith for 0 and go get Dryad Arbor, but my opponent can just bolt the Dryad Arbor, and then I'm in a spot where I'm super stuck as well. So let's see if they have another Daze, shall we? I think I'm not gonna play the Caracas, because right now I'm wasteland proof, and if I draw another land next turn I get to like Caracas plus and if I draw another land I get to play the Caracas later, and I get to play around Daze one more time. No blind flip opponent clearly new to Delver, yeah. Obviously. Professional Delver players always blind flip. It's always the correct play. I didn't even look at the card, I just flip it. I block you. No. Untap land. Yes. Don't force me, bro. Don't force me. Whoo! Here we go. Here we go. Once played against somebody, Modern Devil blind flipped a turn 1 Devil all 3 games. Ridiculous. Wow, my opponent could have had a force in hand. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? And instead they have this stupid Delver. So I'm gonna offer the trade. Opponent doesn't take it. Okay. Doesn't Delver play Borrower now? I still get a 1-2. Chain Lightning. We can reflect Chain Lightning! That's true! So sick! Yes! Yes! Yes, yes, yes. I think we just seen it for 1. Seen it for 1, go get Reclaimer. Well, it's my first time trying the main deck Arasta and actually getting paired against Delver and actually drawing the Arasta, so let's say that it's been looking good so far. Man, Delver sucks. Delver's not looking very good right here. Delver is not looking particularly great right here. We're just gonna send my opponent back to the Stone Age. Bold that. Sure. Do we just take the trade? I think I'd rather trade with... I'd rather trade with my opponent's... No. So I can choose whether I want to trade here with the Delver or I want to trade with my opponent's Force plus the blue card that they have in hand. I think I'd rather trade with the Insectile Aberration. Because the problem is if I do that, then I don't get to act. Like if I'm casting Arasta next turn, then I'm not casting Reclaimer, and my opponent is I'm not activating Reclaimer. My opponent is again attacking me with double Delver. So what I can do here is I can take this trade, then my opponent Chain Lightning is the Reclaimer because otherwise they lose, and then we get to redirect here. And then my opponent is down to Force of Will plus blue card. No, yeah, I guess I like the Force of Will plus blue card better. Never mind. No, I think that is actually worth it. Yeah, Chain Lightning the Reclaimer because otherwise they lose. Red, yes. And we're gonna choose that target. And now my opponent goes down to 0 cards. And I think Wastelining there is good because we get punished if we find exactly Field of the Dead. Rough. Man, we gotta draw something here. Something good, please. Okay. Expressive iteration. So we're gonna take the chomp, and then I'm gonna block the Swift Spear, I guess. Swords of Plowshares. Oh, we don't have enough time. I have to take Reclaimer. Put on top. Put on top. I have to take Reclaimer here. I have to take Reclaimer. And if we attack... I'm going to attack with the Dryad because I'm not blocking with the Dryad. So I'm going to attack with the Dryad. We're dead to Lightning Bolt. And I think that we win otherwise. We lose to Lightning Bolt, but we beat everything else. We lose to Bolt, but we beat everything else. That's rough. Scarlex is looking good over there. Yeah, we're fine with Chain Lightning, but we lose to Lightning Bolt. Oh no, I guess we lose to Chain Lightning because my opponent just attacks. Oh, please play that Sprite Dragon. Please play, just play the Sprite Dragon. Yes, yes. How can I ever beat that? Yeah, we just killed them with Valakut now. And I'm not shuffling because I know that there's a fetch on top, which is exactly what I want. Oh, that's even better than a fetch. Is that better than a fetch? I think the follower suck done. So we're gonna sack this, get Valakut, play fetch, deal 3, play another fetch, deal 3, and attack with 2. No, it's actually not better than a fetch. Face. 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 Whew. Okay, so we don't want that one, we want this one. We want Engineer, we want Sevens. We don't want Collect Roof. Don't want Tracker. Arasta was insane that game. Arasta was so insane. We just sat down in play, just doing nothing and stopping my opponent from doing anything at all. It stopped like 4 combat steps or something like that. It was awesome. Can't wait for MH2 to be out so I can buy Tarns and Misty for 30 euros. I don't think that's gonna ever be possible. This is a fine opener, I think. Turn 1 Delver. I think I want Zenith for 0. Insta flip. Insta flip with the force. Bolt sucks. Really have to find a land drop here. This is probably gonna get forced. Yep. Pitch an expressive iteration. Okay. I mean, if we find a land, we're in pretty good shape here. Bottom top. Another Volk. More cantripping. We just have to find a green source, I think. Also, it's possible my opponent is not playing Wastelands. Land. So close. Being stuck on 1 spell a turn is brutal here. Being stuck on 1 spell a turn here is devastating. Got myself MH draft booster buff for 219. I think they're going to be the MH2 route and just insanely expensive. Yeah, I think that they're gonna be expensive for sure. Those sets always are very expensive. Zero cards. Oof. They should definitely be doing this, right? So we can do the Reclaimer trick here, the Flagstones trick. So we can block effectively now. I'm still getting Flagstones here because we're gonna get another Reclaimer now. Also, we saved 2 life there, which is not nothing. Land would be great. Awesome. So now we get 2 Reclaimers into play, both of them 3/4s. We're playing into days, but like I don't think that we can really not do anything here. Yep. I really think we had to take our chance to double spell there. This game's close. This game is hella close. That should be game now. Yeah, I just don't think my opponent is playing any... I don't think that they're playing any Wastelands. Is this gonna be a Seiko Plague Engineer? Get Savannah. Take another Flagstones. Is this the Seiko Plague Engineer? Can we resolve, please? Can I name Fairy Dragon? No! Gross. Oh, wow! Wow! Got him. That's wild. Yeah, and naming Fairy kills Bracing Borwer. That's why I did that. I think this gave me silver, chat. I think we're gonna get the 5-0. I think we are slowly but surely approaching 5-0 territory. I am, however, not going to fetch. I am not fetching because I don't want to die to double lightning bolt. Now we can fetch. Boom! This is how we do it. Opponent cantrips. Fiercely, ferociously cantripping. Trying to look for a card that does not exist, unfortunately for them. Fetching ferociously for a card that does not exist. Such a sad story. Such a sad story. Rip Dreadhorde Arcanist. It's probably safe to say that Dreadhorde will be pretty good here. My point is from the Never Scoop school, I guess. Boom. Nothing like some good and healthy overkill. Nothing like some good and healthy overkill. You love to see it. You love to see it when your opponent just, for whatever reason, refuses to back it in. Now we can really show them that we're not in the business of conceding early either. If you wanna not concede, opponent, I will take it. If you wanna not concede, I will definitely take it. More zombies, more Valakut triggers, more you dead. That is what we call justice. Worth it. I don't regret it for a second. I don't regret it for a second. I don't regret it for a second. That was awesome. That was absolutely amazing. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. Yeah, let's do this. Wow, this is an interesting Once Upon a Time. I think I'm taking Skyclave. Because I'm gonna have to kill this thing. Price of Progress, man. That's so sick. Honestly, my opponent totally earned it. Amazing job from my opponent. They totally deserved it. Way more than I did. Way more than I did, I'll tell you. They deserved it way more than I did, but... So I think I'm probably going to plow this Bright Dragon now. Because I don't think we can afford to just lose 2 days. Unless I find a white source, in which case now I can just Apparition. Force Pitching Iteration. It's a lot of damage. Am I just dead? I think I'm just dead. Wow, I'm gonna lose the 5-0 too. I'm gonna lose the 5-0 to being cocky. Yep, I'm dead now. Well, that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That is very embarrassing. That was great though. That was great. I don't think we could have really played this game any differently. Like, they had the days when they needed it, they had the force, and they have the double bolt, so I think my opponent just played it perfectly. Well-deserved victory for them, well-deserved loss for me. Well, should have gone 5-0 there if I weren't an idiot and I wasn't making fun. Anyway, but this deck is pretty cool though. This is the most hilarious way to lose the 5-0 I've ever seen. Exactly. And the funniest thing is just like playing tight the entire way here, and then just completely getting owned. I love it. I love it. That really was very good. That was awesome. This deck is pretty solid. This deck is pretty solid. I think I would. Arias, thank you for the follow. GG's. GG's. I totally deserve to lose that one. Losing that was the most epic way to lose the 5-0 that I have seen. Or at least that I have lost the 5-0. It's good content. It's good content. Anyway, sometimes overkill ends up killing you. I think this deck is cool. Was it for the 5-0? Yeah. I think maybe the Fairy Macabres could be something else. Out of all the cards in the sideboard, the Fairy Macabres feel like the weaker. And not only the weaker, but also the ones that I feel like they just don't really have that many targets anymore. The combo decks in Legacy are the Karn Echoes Nonsense deck. Then we have the Chain of Small deck. Doomsday, Sneak and Show, Omnitel, etc. Like, there are just no decks that I want Fairy Macabre anymore. Like, I was playing Fairy Macabre when the metagame had like Oops All Spells and Red Black Reanimator. So against all of those decks that were packing Pact of Negation or Chancellor of the Annex and stuff like that, against all of those decks, the Fairy Macabre made a lot of sense. But those decks have kind of disappeared now. So I'm wondering if these cards should be something else. If that were the case, like if I wanted to change this, what would those be? The main deck, I think it's great. I've been loving the main deck. Every card has been great in the main deck. So I think we're fine in terms of the main deck. The sideboard is the only thing. How's the Moonstompy matchup? Very good. Could play a third Silence, second Force. Well, it's not that I want to give up on having a graveyard hate. But what I'm thinking is like maybe we can play stuff like Surgical, for example. You know? So if we're playing Surgical Extraction, then we can use Surgical against Depths, for example, or against other decks where Surgical. So I think maybe it's time for us to go back to Surgical. Crop Route is interesting. Crop Route is cool. There's something incredibly sexy about crop rotating away the Flagstones of Trocaire, right? What do you think of Carpet against Delver to be a bit faster? I think that I don't think that is gonna make the difference. I don't hate a Council's Judgment or Path. Path could be interesting. I actually had Path in the past. I did play Path in the sideboard at one point. Mostly for the Delver and DNT matchups. Where do I sign for Crobatini Flexens? Yeah. I'd rather play Clothes than Carpet. I mean, I'm not splashing red and I don't want to, so I'm not gonna play Clothes in this deck. Could access to decay be nice, or do we not need that with Skyclave? I definitely have not needed that, no. I'd probably rather have access to Path to Exile, which I can cast more effectively. easily and more efficiently as well. Particularly because it's not like decay is useful against Blood Moon and stuff, right? I do like the crop rotation idea though. I do really like the crop rotation idea. And crop rot can also come in matchups where I'm bringing in Knuckle and stuff. Return to Nature? Nah, Return to Nature just sucks. It's just not a good card. I do like the crop rotation idea a lot. The more that I think about it, like against Depth's deck, just crop rot for Caracas sounds incredible. Against opposing Wasteland decks, just crop away whatever they waste in order to stay ahead of mana or find the Flagstones to pull ahead. I really like the crop rotation idea, and obviously against graveyard decks, you just instant speed go get Bojuku Bog. Cephalid Coliseum. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Also, we're not very good at having threshold, particularly against decks like Doomsday, against combo decks. We're not really trading resources that much. So, Professional Magician, why is Wizard the best band of all time? Curious question. So wrong on so many levels. I think this is what's up. I think this is what's up. Yeah. Yeah. It's 3:38. Probably not gonna have enough time for another league. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.